And we are live. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Live Show. How you doing, buddy? Chaco?
Good. Anything notable happened this week, Rich?
Yeah, a little bit. Just a touch, maybe something a little different. If you guys didn't hear, I had a little medical issue. Had me they called it a mild heart attack, but it didn't feel mild to me when it happened.
I bet.
But yeah, they got me in there and got me straightened out, put 2 stents in, and everything hopefully is slowly on the mend. I'm feeling better, definitely feeling better than I was last Sunday. So it's been almost a week. Tomorrow will be a week, but it's crazy that modern medicine man, get you in, get you kind of fixed up without it being too bad. Luckily I didn't have to have my chest, cut open, but
yeah. Sorry, I got to cough again. Not feeling that great. I mean, not to compare.
Taco is battling a
bit of a cold.
Cold, yeah, summertime cold. Those are the worst, man.
Yeah, I traveled and I speak for everyone. I know we were very happy to hear that you're on the mend and that everything went well and that you're feeling better and you're feeling well enough to do this. And
I'd like to just take a quick shout out, this chance to say thanks to everybody that reached out. Thanks to my buddy Mike here, Chaco. He kind of rallied the troops a little bit, and not that people wouldn't have done it on their own, but I'm just putting it out there and the outreach and and the support and the love, man. I greatly appreciate it, and it means a lot to me. I could never say thank you enough. So, but we got a hot guest tonight. You want to introduce him and we'll bring him out.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, if you watch my channel, there are a couple of channels I mention quite often. I mention Alan, Comic Collector Geek, and how much you learn about history of comics from him and Steppo. And I mention Beyond Wednesdays quite often about their how in tune they are with industry of comics and new artists and things like that. And we have the great and powerful Bryan McClay on from Beyond Wednesdays. Maybe we should bring Bryan out.
And here's Bryan. Hey, Bryan, thanks for being here.
Thank you, gentlemen. It's good to be here. It's good that Rich is here this week.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I can't explain how crazy that made me feel just hearing about it. So hopefully everything works out good for you, brother. That is easy. Absolutely nuts.
Yeah, we were all relieved. It was I'm sure scariest for Rich, but I know all of us were nervous as well, and it was great to hear on the mend and all things are going well. So, thanks for doing this, man. I know you're a busy guy. You've got what do you have, like 30 streams a week or something like that you're doing right now?
He's doing one right now, man. He's got another one on the side.
I just ended a Whatnot stream. So we did a Whatnot stream for 2 hours. I'll do this show, and then we start Modern Comic Mayhem at 10 p.m. Eastern. So we do at least four live streams a week, not including the sales, which has added a lot of extra work on there. But this is my my quote unquote day job now. So it's not too bad to put that much effort into it. And building a brand is a lot of work.
It's evident. I mean, you guys do great stuff, and I know you're kind of the engine behind it. But the first question we normally start off with everyone is, tell us how you got into comics, and then if you could talk to us about how you started YouTube.
Yeah. So I got into comics like most kids who grew up in the 80s and 90s. My parents gave me something to kind of keep me busy. I remember my very first comic I ever got. My dad worked for Campbell Soup growing up. My dad worked for Campbell Soup. Okay. My grandfather worked for Campbell Soup. I was a Campbell kid, as they called it, and Campbell Soup was my life for the first 15 years of my life. And back in the early 80s, Campbell Soup did a special thing with Captain America and Marvel. And my dad got a bunch of premiums. And I remember my dad giving me a Campbell Soup comic as a kid. And I still have that comic today. It's actually, I believe, behind me. You can kind of see it right there.
Oh, wow, man. That's nice. Yeah.
Actual book that I got. And then I obviously I didn't read it. I was too young. But the first book I remember reading was a G.I. Joe comic. G.I. Joes were my thing. They're still my thing. That's my ultimate nostalgia button. And I got into, G.I. Joe comics and toys. And I kind of would just kind of go through them, not really read them. But then Batman 89 hit. And like most people around that time, that got me into going into comic stores. And I remember, the first comic stores I went into, All About Books and Comics here in the Valley. I live in Phoenix, and back in the day, it was a huge comic book store, massive, two full stores right next to each other. Wow. And it was crazy. And walking into a comic shop the first time and getting to go through books and not knowing what you're buying, and it was a great moment in my life. And I think that's how a lot of us are that got into comics. It's kind of a very similar story, so
I might have jumped ahead. I think I jumped out of line. We didn't say hi to the chat. We normally say hi to the people. If you wouldn't mind us taking a break just to say hi to the people that showed up.
Yeah, we got let's see here, Igor. Igor,
what's up?
Igor, yeah, there you go. That's better. Igor is that's
Igor.
Brooks. Yeah,
that's right.
Mel Brooks is Frankenstein. Yeah, Frankenstein. Yeah. I seen a comic earlier today, and I seen
Werewolf.
Yeah, I was like Igor. I was like, but Kate Munin, buddy.
You okay?
Derek,
the great Derek. Yo, Derek.
Great Derek. Big Matt.
Matt got some nominations.
Yeah, Bjorn
got some nominations yesterday.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. There's Richard. Can't do a show without Richard.
Absolutely.
And JSS.
John? I watched JSS was on Only Slabs earlier today. Everybody should check out the Only Slabs that JSS did. I think he said it was his very first YouTube on air.
Yeah. Oh, nice. I knew you had something coming up here soon. I just couldn't remember what it was. Steppo.
Yo, Steven.
Let's see. Come on, work for me. Let's see. Oh, hang on.
Biggie. Yo, Biggie.
And Bleeker.
Yo, Bleeker.
Shout out to Bleeker. Good to see you, brother.
Yeah. Great legend.
Yo, legend.
OG.
I look forward to kicking your butt too in the Collectors Club.
Little trash talk from legend there. That's good.
Yeah. Let's see. My sweetheart.
Adam got like 3 nominations as well.
Yeah. Way to go, side piece. Love it. Speaking of Bryan.
No, Bryan. Well done last night, Bryan. You ran a great stream.
That was a very good show. Very good show. And let's see. I think that might be it for now. That's it for right now. That's all right. Thanks everybody for being here.
So Bryan, how did you start the comic book YouTube journey, and how did that lead you to what you've got now with Beyond Wednesdays?
Mm-hmm. So I used to be in the space and defense industry. I spent 15 years running a environmental test engineering lab.
Wow.
And loved it. It was great. It was a lot of fun. And about 10 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, a little bit longer. A little bit longer. I got back into collecting. I was at work one day and I was going through forums and stuff, just wasting time. And I grew up collecting cards and comics and stuff. And, when you get older and you got a little bit of an expendable income, you kind of usually jump back into the things that you couldn't get when you were kids. And I started getting back into the cards and comics and buying some of those, cool things that you always wanted as kids. And I was searching the internet for something, and I came across a old G+ message board group called CBSI, Comic Book Speculation and Investing.
What year would this have been around?
Yeah.
Oh God, about 13 years ago. So
wow,
wow, yeah, wow.
And there was like, I don't know, maybe 40, 30 people in there at the most. And it was, at first, it was just kind of a place. I remember the first post of the group was just looking for a certain variant. It was looking for that Legion of Superheroes, Adam Hughes variant, the Supergirl variant.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I'm a huge Adam Hughes fan. I believe that's how I found the boards is by that post. And I joined, and it kind of, at first it was great because it was like people showing their pickups and stuff that they found. But the main reason for the group was, it was kind of like letting people know, hey, these comics are out there that you can go buy for cheap and flip on eBay for a lot of money. And you could, everybody there was, flipping books to get their grails, basically. And next thing you know, a couple years go by and CBSI just blows up, right? We end up turning it into a web page. It becomes a web page. We started this thing called the Hot 10, like the old school Wizard Hot 10. We based it on the old school Wizard list, the look of it and everything. And guys would, say, here's the 10 hottest books on the secondary market. And it just it blew up. And I give all the credit to Trey Kenyon and the small amount of guys who started that forum, Sean Leggett, Mel V, Mighty Mel V. There's a couple other guys. Ben Steiniger was an old school CBS guy. The guy who created Cover Price, Matt DeVoe, old school CBSI guy. So like a lot of those guys, created this monster, and they started a podcast. Back then it was called Unpressable Defects. And nowadays there's a group called Pressable Defects, but this is probably the very first podcast or YouTube show that was out about comic book speculation was a podcast called Unpressable Defects by the CBSI crew. And so around that time I had started a podcast with talking about starting a YouTube channel / podcast with my best friend. It ended up becoming a show called The Bogcast. We did 300 episodes on YouTube. You can go watch some of them today. It was like a Joe Rogan style interview show.
Wow.
So I started doing that, and the CBSI guys were looking to start a second podcast based more on like, it was comic based, but then they would talk about like toys and cards and collecting and flipping those.
Right on.
And I think the third episode in, they had put out a thing on the message boards, the G+ message boards. Hey, is there anybody out there that wants to jump on and talk with us? And I said, yeah, I'll jump on. And that was Tales from the Flip Side, episode 3, I think it was Tales from the Flip Side. So I jumped.
And that went to a lot of people, right? A lot of people came from Tales from the Flip Side, right?
A lot, yeah. And so I jumped on Tales from the Flip Side, and next thing I know, the next day they're like, "Hey, why don't you come on the next show and the next show?" And next thing I know, we created a monster of a channel. The pandemic hit, and Tales from the Flip Side is there's probably 1,000 episodes over there. We were doing shows 7 days a week. We had multiple shows 7 days. We started, a ton of the content creators that are in this world right now came from that. There's 3 of us mainly over there that were creating everything. Me, the guy, we call him the CEO, Dino, and another guy. And we would just sit there on the phone all day and brainstorm, like, let's come up with a show with this. Let's come up with a show with this. So we had really a Monday night. That was our just regular show. We created the Comic Book Women show. which now is they were on Tales from the Flip Side at first, and when Tales from the Flip Side kind of blew up, they started their own channel, Nearing Nirvana. Shout out to Laura Arroyo, who runs that show with Lucy and Jen.
I watch that show.
Yeah. So I helped create that show. I gave it its name. I created its initial intro, produced the first 20 episodes. We created a show called Prospect 10, which got sponsored by Key Collector, and that kind of blew that up. We started doing the Hot 10, the CBSI Hot 10 show, which with Ben Steiniger, which I've been doing that with Ben for almost 10 years now. We do it every Friday night now on the House of Stein. But Tales from the Flip Side was a big deal. I mean, a real big deal. We were back during the pandemic, for a small, like the comic book collecting content creators is a very small niche on YouTube. I mean, there's some big guys that are out there like Nerdrotic and Gem
Comics Explained.
Comics Explained, but they're not really kind of like our world of hangout speculation type stuff.
That's a whole other category to me. That's how I look at it too.
Yeah. So Tales from the Flip Side, was like 6,000 subscribers, 500 in the live. All the live shows would be 300 to 500 people in the lives, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, a blast. It was, to me, the golden age of comic book content on YouTube. And we had a little bit of a falling out. I had a falling out with one guy over there that turned into kind of me just saying, I'm going to go start my own thing. And there's that saying that, you want to take your own advice from people. And anytime I would bring somebody into Tales from the Flip Side, I would say, hey, utilize this to push people to your own thing. Start your own YouTube page. Come and do stuff with us on Tales from the Flip Side, and you can push people over there, to your own stuff. And I never did that myself. And when kind of the fallout happened at Tales from the Flip Side, which, by the way, I'm kosher with those guys. Dino is a good friend. He's always on Beyond Wednesday. He'll jump on Beyond Wednesdays all the time.
Yeah,
and,
I've seen
brothers. But I decided, I need to start my own thing. I need to take my own advice. So about almost little over 3 years ago now, I started Beyond Wednesdays, and it's been a blast ever since. All the majority of the people who are on Beyond Wednesdays now, Yeezy, Red Hood Joe, Big Leg, all those guys came from Tales from the Flip Side and CBSI, so I've created some of the best friends that I have, not just in the comic community, it's best friends period that I have through content creation and Beyond Wednesdays, and now we just hang out a couple times a week. And Beyond Wednesdays is a very simple thing. It's hanging out with your buddies, shooting the shit. We've kind of polished it up a little bit, and we're a little bit more professional now, but basically it's just comic book shop talk. When you would go into your shop on days and you would see the guys that you see all the time, and you spend an hour or two sitting there bullshitting. That's what the content was, and that's how it started.
You had a real design though to this. You can tell that it's real intentional, what you're doing there, and also it's really polished. When I talk to other people about it, from the intro, the music and the setting you've put a lot of thought into this. And it's one of the things I was wondering is how much of this is specifically your vision, this is how I wanted it to be set up, and how much has been input from the other guys.
So, and I, you can ask any of the other guys. I try not to take credit for stuff, but in all honesty, I'd say 90% of it. And those guys, I'm honest to a fault. I've talked about this before. I was a heroin addict for 10 years. And
wow, I didn't know that.
When I was a young kid, I fell into the drug game pretty early on, 13, 14 years old.
Wow.
I started I started using heroin in high school, and it turned into a vicious cycle of 10 plus years. As bad could be. Things that you never thought you would do, you've done. And so I say all the time that I've lived a lot of my life lying to my friends, lying to my family, lying to my mother and father. And it was the worst part of me, by far the worst part of me. And when I got sober in March of 2005, I decided I was never going to lie again. And that's a big part of me. I'm honest to a fault. And the reason why is because I spent a lot of years lying to cover up other lies. And it's not fun. It's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
And when you don't lie, it's just easy not to have to worry about that,
Well, congrats on for 20 years, man.
Yeah,
that's great. And hard. It's gotta be really, I've had a couple of friends, one who died, who were, growing up when you're in those circles, the punk rock kind of circles and stuff, you find people that are like, and one friend who I don't know ever made it out. I don't know where he is anymore. So congratulations. Like Rich said, that's tough to get out of that.
It is. It's very tough. And I was very lucky because I was the only one in my friends group. I have like 5 or 6 guys that I was and we were in every class together from kindergarten to like 6th grade, right? And we're like brothers. And I hid it from them. I was very good at hiding it, and for the longest time nobody knew I was using, because it was so foreign to them. And the funny thing is it's not the funny thing, but it's the truth. I'm very lucky because when I was using it, it wasn't the world we're in today. There was no mixing of methamphetamines and heroin, mixing of methamphetamines and fentanyl.
I was going to say,
people.
I would be, if I was at a different time period, I would 100% be dead. And the crazy thing is, about 5 or 6 years of sobriety, a bunch of my friends got caught in the same game.
Oh no!
And it usually starts the same way for a lot of people that got addicted in the early 2000s and move forward. It's through pain pills, and it became such an epidemic. That's one of the main ways I got really deep into it with OxyContin, and it was a nightmare. And a lot of my friends end up getting caught up in it, and luckily enough, I was able to help them out. And I kind of turned my house into a halfway home at one point where, 3 of my closest friends and my brother all came to stay with me. And, I helped them get off of drugs. My brother got hooked on pain pills through cancer.
Wow.
My brother had a really, really rare form of cancer, same form of cancer that Michael Turner died of. Got hooked on pain pills. Through after effects of cancer, and I was able to help him. I was able to help 2 of my best friends. I think that one of the things that if you're lucky enough to make it out of addiction, it's kind of upon you to kind of pay it forward, if that makes sense. You also learn the main rules of paying it forward, which is nobody's going to get off any type of drugs or addiction unless they want to. They have to want it. And so many times, they don't want to yet. And you recognize that pretty quickly. So anyways, that was my thing. So I take it upon myself. My honesty is a very big thing. And the guys will tell you that, they're there because I like them being there. You know what I mean? Like they're my friends, and I'm able to have conversations. And 90% of Beyond Wednesdays is the conversation. Right. It's whether it's a conversation you need to have because of some bullshit going on, or it's a conversation that, we're having because whatever reason, that's the whole point. So, the different segments, the music at the beginning of the show, the comic drama alert stuff, all that is stuff that I've come up with, and they've been a big part of it. I mean, they've definitely influenced it, but those guys will tell you that, they're kind of hands off until it comes to the show, and they're kind of my color commentators, and they're such a big part of the brand. I mean,
oh yeah, it's great to watch you guys interact, and it's like it's
you can tell you have that kind of friendship with each other, just by the way you interact and stuff. So,
and that you have your finger on the pulse of what's going on, like right now.
Yeah,
like more than most people do, and it's it's really fun to watch, and I really enjoy it, and I always say, yo, Darth, and that it's great to see like that you're not afraid to handle some of the stuff, like you said, some of the bullshit that's going on with the macroverse, or with some of the copyright material that's in some of these kind of copied covers, and you're taking these people to task. Like, you're really calling them out. You're not I mean, you're not rude, but you're calling it out. Like, now what made you decide to do that, to delve into those waters where it's like, this is going to be controversial, and it might get kind of unfriendly to have a couple of these people on?
So and you guys might already get this, but if you don't, if you continue being consistent with your content and in this community, it'll happen. One of the things that happens with it's any community, it feels like, on YouTube, but especially the comic book community, you'll be sent messages, and you get these messages constantly about whatever drama or little bullshit that's going on. Somebody was talking bad about you here. Somebody's talking bad about you here. Check this out here. And it's Drama Alert started off kind of like that way. Like, oh, did you hear this person talking bad about you here? Did you hear this? And it got to the point where I was just getting so many messages. I'm like, you know what? If I'm going to deal with this, I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to turn it into content in a way that, I can kind of like make it how I want and form it. So I created, I'm a big fan of internet lore. And if you're a fan of internet lore, and, I grew up playing Halo and World of Warcraft, and, that world. And, yeah. So if you know internet lore, you know who Killer Keemstar is, and in the Drama Alert segment and all that stuff. And so the Drama Alert was kind of like my little, way of acknowledging Keemstar. I used his Drama Alert intro music, and and
our friend Darth makes an appearance on the intro.
And so that's kind of like how it started. It started as, okay, if I'm going to get all this information and instead of just saying I'm not going to deal with it, which you really can't. There's no possible way, unless you're just not going to look at your social media or YouTube at all, and you can't do that being a content creator. So if you're going to do that, like, turn it into content and make it, some way. And by the way, Drama Alerts kind of started that way, but it's kind of changed, right? Like, it's a little bit more industry based now than more community drama, even though the community drama pops up. But it was based on community drama at first. That was a big part of it. And you deal with a lot of that in the comic book and YouTube world. It's just the way it is.
I love seeing it, especially when something big is happening. Like we say, the macroverse nonsense was really for those who haven't heard about what happened with macroverse recently, could you give just a Cliff Notes version and kind of what they had to say about it?
I was reached out, a big industry vet reached out to me and said, hey man, I got a buddy who's working on something and I think you might like it. Can you take a look at it? And it was kind of like almost like a favor to him. Like, yeah, I'll take a look at it and let's have him on the channel. And so basically it was a pre-code horror reproduction Kickstarter. And the whole point of the Kickstarter was kind of like to make exact facsimiles of old school pre-code horror books that most people can't afford these days because they're so expensive. But here now they can hold them in their hands. They can feel what the paper was like in the golden age. They can the weight of the papers, the exact printing methods are the same. So you're getting almost to a T the exact facsimile of how it was made in that time. And it was a genius idea to me. It at the time, I should have realized that it was a lot of work that probably couldn't have been done. But, sometimes you can be a little gullible and you can believe people. And it felt like they knew what they were doing, that they already had everything sourced. They were even talking about
it. I did the Kickstarter.
They were talking about how like they had a perfume that they had made to like make the book smell like the old
books. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it was an amazing idea. And then they even said like, we're going to do special tiers where we're going to make special variants. And, we're like, we come from the Flipperverse, we call it, hashtag dirty flipper. Like that's what we are. We flip books. And, a lot of people that in my mind was like, okay, we can buy those extra tiers, flip them to pay for the initial set. And how great is that going to look on your shelves? And you can see all those old school books. And it just felt like a no-brainer. It felt like a home run, like out the gate. Like this is going to be amazing. And like you said, a lot of people kind of now we could say fell for it. And I opened up my audience and all my friends to it. And about they initially said I think it was going to be like 3 months that they thought the lead time was going to be to have it out. 3 months went by, nothing. The tariffs started happening. You got to throw them a mulligan for that. They have to source the paper from outside of Canada.
Delays happen.
Logistics, yes. So after 7 months, nothing. Okay, we'll give them that. But then it just kind of started spiraling. And the initial guy that, I was in contact with about it left the project. And it just, you could tell it was turning into a shitstorm. And then they started talking about, overprinting books. Initially, there was only supposed to be, a couple hundred of each. Now they're going to do a couple thousand of each and then 10,000 of each. And then they say, the people who backed it still haven't gotten their Kickstarter, but they're going to sell some books at San Diego. And it just felt really, really underhanded. And
that's the one that bothered me.
Yes. And so basically they did the guy who's running it, Eben, who kind of, basically came out and did a Ask Me Anything, interview on YouTube that really went sour, bad quick. I was in the live chat and I kind of said, hey, come on my show, come on my platform. And he agreed. And we brought him on the industry show. And I got to be honest, even though it's a shit show, the Macroverse is a shit show and everything has kind of gone sour, Eben came on and he showed other people like, okay, if you're gonna get out in front of this is how to get out in front of it. This is how to make up for your mistakes, or at least say that, hey, I made a mistake. We're gonna try and fix it. We'll see if they can fix it. I don't think they will. I told all my buddies that if it was me, hint hint, I would ask for my money back. I got him to say on the show that they would take people's money back, which was a big thing for me. Right. I know a lot of people.
It seemed like he was just trying to con you, or just trying to pull, fast one, or backstepping the way. I mean,
I think on his AMA, he felt it felt like that. But when he came on the show in the AMA, he said he wasn't going to take give any refunds. But when he came on the show, he said he would, and that's a big deal to me, right? Like if you're and so I know a lot of people have gotten their refunds. Chonko, I don't know if you've decided to get your money back or not, but
not yet. I have given them a lot of shit on their on the comments on the Kickstarter. But I was still hoping to get it, but we'll see. If it drags on too much longer, then
yeah.
But yeah,
Bryan is recommending that you get your money back. So
now that I hear that, maybe I'll rethink. It would be cool to get them, especially after waiting this long. Yeah. Another thing that I was wondering. So you've made a lot of really cool contacts, and you've again, like, one of the things that I always mention is that you guys really have your finger on the pulse of things. What you were on very early was who's now your good friend, Mr. Mark Spears. Mm-hmm. And you were kind of at the tip of the spear of that. Can you tell us, how you first how you found Mark, and then promoted, and then you guys became actually really good friends with Mark now.
Yeah. So one of the things I love about comics is finding new creators. My favorite thing to collect in comics, people know I collect skull covers and, cannabis covers and alien covers and funny things like that. But my favorite thing to collect is creator firsts. It's always been one of my passions in comics. A lot of people don't know about creator first or even collect them. Very few. I have a list that I've been working on for many years now. As a matter of fact, Derek's in the chat. He helps me quite a bit on that list, but it's a living list of creator first that anybody can go to. I put the link in all the descriptions for all my YouTube channels and stuff, and you can help me fill it out. But it's, like all the creator first, whether it's their first professional work, like, the first time that Neil Adams did Batman, the first time Neil Adams did Green Lantern, the first time Frank Miller did Daredevil, like first of those cool things. And, the first cover or whatever. So I love finding new creators, and that's something that is cool to do, in my opinion, with content, right? Because you're putting a spotlight on them, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah. So one day, this was back when, do you guys know who Jay Stevens is? He got kind of big recently with Ownings, but he's a longtime, artist and creator in comics. Worked a lot with Mike Allred early on, and really, really cool guy. He started putting out this Kickstarter called Ownings, which is a great series, kind of like a horror series with like kids and like this really cool like artwork and very cartoony. And we were on Kickstarter, and I'm just kind of like looking through stuff, and all of a sudden I see this amazing art, Universal Monsters art, and there I see a couple of homages, and I'm like, what is this? And it turned out to be Mark Spears, and there was like 6 backers on this Kickstarter. And so
wow.
So early.
So one of the tiers was, everything. I think it was like $600, and you get one of everything that he did for issues 1 through 8 of Monsters.
Wow.
Yeah. So I obviously, I was like, that's a no-brainer to me. Like, even if I don't like this series, they're homages. I'll be able to flip them and make up my money. But this art, first of all, looks amazing. He was not only did the covers, he created the story, wrote the story, did the interiors. Like, it felt like a no-brainer for me. The quality looked good, so I backed it. And Mark is really good about, at least up until this point, I don't know what the future entails, but up until this point, he's been very good about fulfilling on time. And he sent out the first batch, and he had put a note in my batch that said, hey, there's a couple of covers that I only printed out a few because not everybody got them, and you're one of the people that got them, but there were some damages, so yada yada, I'll get back to you. And then he reached out to me. I can't remember his email or what. It's through some DMs, saying that. And I just struck up a conversation, and we started being friends. And then a few months later, I see the Spawn covers, right? The first Spawn covers are solicited.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's Mark Spears. And, I hit him up, and sure enough, and then we just kept talking. And then I started talking about his stuff on the channel. And, Mark was searching like if anybody was talking about his stuff, and he found the channel, and the next thing I know, he's like, hey, I'd love to come on. He came on. Wow. And ever since then, we've just been really good friends. He's been one of the people that, listen, I think that
that's awesome,
there's something to be said about guys and girls, people out there who like are easy to root for.
Oh, easy. Yeah, he's like the nicest guy.
Yeah, I don't think people realize how amazing this story is for Mark. And I'm not telling anything he hasn't told before, but Mark he had been trying to break into comics for 20 plus years. He owned and worked in a comic store growing up. He has been drawing for his whole life. He had been trying to do comics forever. He kind of couldn't break through. Started doing statue work and behind the scenes work, and just had this dream of comics. And right before the pandemic, like it wasn't working. And he He had lost his house. You know,
Oh my God.
was sleeping in his car.
Wow.
His family, his wife and kids were staying at his in-laws' house, and he was kind of like in his car because, you know, there wasn't room for him there, and he didn't want to. He felt shitty, and he said that all he had was his phone and an old tablet that he would just draw on. And the pandemic came. He decided he was done with comics, and he started like learning how to do like, you know, tech work. And he was trying to learn how to do tech work, you know, to create and start a new career. When you're in your 40s, that's hard to do, you know. And he was just
been there.
And he started sketching one day. His son, I think the story is his son said, "Hey, Dad, let's do a draw off and let's do it on, you know, monsters." And so Mark did like a Freddy, Jason, you know, Michael Myers piece with his son and put it up on his Facebook, and everybody loved it. And he went, "You know what? I'm going to continue doing this." And that turned into like the card stuff and the comics. And the first Kickstarter he did, you know, did like $80,000 or something and it saved his career. It saved his life, you know. And
wow.
It's so great. What a great story.
Yeah, it's a great story.
And he's just a good dude. He's a big time family man. He loves his family. He doesn't, you know, leave his family quite often. He likes to be around them, and he doesn't do very many cons. He doesn't go out of the state very often. And, you know, he's just a cool guy. He's very easy to root for, and he's an amazing creator. Like people see his art, and he's not a traditional. I mean, he's a traditional artist. He can draw and stuff, but his monsters art and his comic art is digital, and he does a lot of digital work, and he uses 3D modeling and stuff, and so it's a little different. So it looks a little bit different, right? It's not that like Bjorn Barron feel. But to me, the greatest thing about Mark isn't his art. It's that he's got this story that he's telling that, and Sean, you read it. I don't know if you read Monsters either, but people that don't read it, pick it up and look in the inside. The story is great.
It's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. And
it's fun.
Yeah. So having that Kickstarter, I had all 8 issues. So I was able to read all 8 issues off the bat. And when issue 9 comes out, it'll be the first new Monsters, you know, for all of the. So we're looking forward to that. So that's kind of how that played out, you know.
One of Us. That's like kind of the big mantra, right? The movie Freaks, where he's an actual comic guy, like a guy who collected comics, who loves comics, who he likes other comic creators, he collects other comics, and that it's always great to see somebody like that. I apologize, I'm sick and I'm wiping my nose and stuff. But yeah, what a and anytime he's on the show, he just seems to be like the nicest guy. I again, like you say, somebody who's really easy to root for. And anytime, you know, like occasionally I hear somebody say, "Oh, it's getting oversaturated and stuff," and I'll be like, I don't care. I still love it. I like what he's doing, and I like the dude, so I'm going to continue to support it. So
yeah, I think that's important. I think that the way that social media is and technology is these days, like, it's one thing to like just have your art out there, but people also like to, you know, collect and be patrons for people that they like and they respect. So like what your product that you're putting out is one thing, but like if they like you as well,
right?
They'll you know, support anything you do, and that's a big part of it. And I'm really glad that we've been able to get Mark to kind of like come out of the shell a little bit and come hang out with us, and you know, because I think it's done exactly that. People like Mark, so they're going to support Mark and Monsters, you know.
I wanted to bring up another maybe a couple, if we have time, a couple other creators that I've found through. I found Mark kind of, you know, independently, I think, but after you did, well after, but a couple that I found through Beyond Wednesdays, a couple female artists. The first is blowing up all over the place right now. And I've shared a bit of her story, but I think you have more of the story. The great Sveta Shubina, who you guys have promoted, and who is just crushing everything she does right now. Can you talk a little bit about Sveta and her story and
Yeah.
what's going on with her in the Ukraine?
So I found Sveta a couple years back through one of her art pieces, the Halloween 3. It's probably her most famous piece. She has been doing art for a while. She does a lot. She's her art rep sets up at a lot of like the horror and monster shows around the country. So she's kind of known for that. But she did this piece called the Halloween 3, very like 50 retro inspired pinup stuff. And I love that pinup style, like that's something that, I grew up with. I have a lot of friends who are in the tattoo industry, and that pinup style is major in that world. And so that style is one of my favorite things. And so I searched it out, and I found her through her Halloween 3. She hadn't really been doing any comics at that time. And then I found out that, she had started getting into comics, and shout out to James Kreider on IG. He's one of the best IG comics creators out there. And he kind of hit me up and he's like, hey man, she has a comic and you should check it out. She's actually selling it on her Etsy store. And I was like, are you kidding me? I think I have,
is this the Foxy cover? Is that the one you're?
No, it is this one right here. So this is Nightwalkers.
Oh wow, badass!
Yeah, this is her very first comic work. It was a limited to 250 print run by Source Point Press. Nobody knew who she was at the time. I would be surprised if there's more than 200 of these out there, like that people know that they have them. Wow. Because they're so rare. And she was selling them on her Etsy store for like $4 a piece.
Isn't that great when you find something like that?
And I sold this one today in my Whatnot sale, I think for like $300. And
wow, everything she has is like $300-$400.
Yeah. There's only 2 of these available on eBay. One is for like a raw for $400. The other one is a 9.8 for like $1,400 or something like that. So that's the book. I shout out to James Kreider for letting me know about it. So I get that. I try to reach out to her. I find her on I see her on Instagram. I try to reach out to her, and she sends me a message and she says, sorry, I'm in Europe and I don't usually do interviews. I would love to at some point, but it's just not possible right now. I apologize. And so I just, no problem, I get it. And I still just continued to collect her. And she her artist rep is here in the States. And I find out who her artist rep is, and I reach out to him and just start talking to him. And I create a friendship through him. And that kind of turned into where we're at now, where, as a matter of fact, I haven't really talked much about this. I'll give you guys a little bit of free cornbread today.
All right.
I love cornbread.
We've done 3 Beyond Wednesdays variants so far. The 4th one, we're hoping, is going to be a Sveta Shabina variant.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Nice.
Yeah. That's big news. That's some spicy news.
Yeah.
So that's the plan. And Sveta's amazing. For those of you guys that don't know, she lives in the Ukraine. We all know what's going on in Ukraine right now. It's a nightmare. And
crazy.
She doesn't have the ability to do much because of that. And that's not exactly what you think. I mean, yeah, it's a war zone going on over there, and she's in the middle of, not necessarily in the thick of it, but that's what's going on over there. And it's kind of, they're limited to what they're able to do, the amount of power they have, like the power they can use, sending stuff in and out of the country, all kinds of stuff. And she doesn't really like dwelling on it, just because it's it's not something cool to dwell on, I guess. And she doesn't talk about it a lot, so I try not to talk about it too much. But it's tough for her, and hopefully one of these years or days or weeks, sometime soon, the fighting will end and she'll be able to visit the United States or leave Ukraine or something. and come out here for a con, but even if
It'll
that
be
doesn't,
bananas.
yeah,
It'll be bananas.
Her career is taking off. She's got big things coming in the comic world, like in a major way, and she is smart too. Like when you talked about how Mark has his finger on the pulse of not only comics and collecting, but his own fan base. Sveta's the same way. Like her and Adam over at Comics Board Inc. Adam's very smart. He's been in this industry a long time, and they're being very picky about who they work with, why they work with. It's not about money to them.
That's smart.
It's about Sveta's career and the well-being of Sveta. One of the things that you don't really think about is like she can't do certain books, and it's because of where she lives and the climate she lives in. And if they see her being known for doing a certain pro country book or non-pro country book, it could be major ish, not just comic stuff. It could be life stuff, and people don't think about that a lot. They just don't know either. But again, that's somebody we want to root for, right? Like that. Of course, and she's amazing. She's absolutely. It was funny because she did this special video for when we announced that she was going to be, she was going to have her products and her art at San Diego. Adam had a booth at San Diego, and she sent this video to us, and she said thank you, and everybody. And her art rep Adam said to me, he goes, "I've been working with her for 5 years. It's the first time I've heard her voice."
Wow.
So
that's wild.
Yeah, it is.
And that's what we love. And same with the next person you're going to mention. I imagine the next person you're going to mention is Suspiria, right?
That's right. That's the next question I had. The other one that I collect almost everything. The great Suspiria, who I first saw on your show when you interviewed her. Yeah,
she's amazing too. Another one of those horror artists. If you guys don't know who Suspiria Vilches is, she's an artist out of Toronto by way of Barcelona, Spain. She grew up in Barcelona and was a tattoo artist over there. And, she was doing her thing, working and trying to stay busy. And the pandemic happened. And if you guys know anybody in the tattoo industry, when the pandemic happened, like it put everything on their world to a halt.
Yeah.
And she didn't have really what she's going to do. So she started kind of like keying in more on drawing, and she started doing like posters for like conventions and stuff like that, magazines, kind of, smaller stuff, but her art is amazing. It's like, it's got this very old school feel to it, like Italian, old school movies, right? Like Dario Argento,
slasher films.
Slasher films. Yeah. Her name, Suspiria, is based on the old school slasher film. Yeah.
This just landed. The World Tree one that she just did landed.
Yes.
Yeah, she's so good.
And again, another person to root for. She just got put into remission for cancer. She fought a really tough breast cancer battle over the last couple of years, and she is now in remission, which is an amazing thing.
That's great.
She is another person that is just an absolute, she is a doll. Like, and I'm not saying that in any bad way. She is amazing. She's just super cool. Just beautiful, person. We love to talk to her, and she was the second ever Beyond Wednesdays variant. We did a G.I. Joe 3. We did it. We asked her to do a Baroness cover for us, and she did this beautiful Baroness cover. And a lot of people,
which is kind of a self-portrait, by the way.
It is kind of a self-portrait. You could definitely tell. And after she did that, we were like, we should get her to do one for a Scarlet. And she's like, I would love to. So she did a Scarlet that is kind of like they go together. They're absolutely amazing. They sold out immediately. And we ended up doing something cool for the Beyond Wednesdays viewers. We ended up putting like 70 sets aside. And I didn't think they were going to sell. I thought maybe we'd sell 20 of them, but they sold with less than an hour on a show of the Wednesday before San Diego. And then in San Diego, we had 100 more sets or 125 more sets. There was only 250 of each, and they sold out at San Diego. And now all that's really left is what's on the secondary market. And me and the guys, we each have a couple sets for ourselves. So that was
mine off Clutch's stream right away.
Yeah. So again, another person that's easy to root for. I think that's the thing.
I've talked to her a few times on Instagram. I actually, she's very nice. I bought some original art for her, and it was taking a while to ship. She included like an extra print, this really cool Lily Munster, just because it was taking a while.
Yeah, I saw it, bro. I did see that. Yeah.
I asked her the one time to come on for an interview and went silent after that. So I don't know if it was just she couldn't. But I was wearing this stupid hat, this free beard rides hat, and I didn't realize I had on the video that I was like, shit.
I think so that might have tainted it a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know if that right away was offended, but yeah, I would love to have one of those people that I'm really fascinated with is Suspiria. Her whole story is great. Everything she's doing is like exactly like I don't know if you saw, we had Kendrick Lim, Kunkka on, and he I was asking kind of his favorite subject matter to do, and he said hot chicks and monsters. And I was like, that's what I like. Yeah. And one of the reasons why I like Suspiria is because she does hot chicks and monsters, like all of her subject matter. and she does it that really cool old painted style, that 70s kind of slasher film style. I love what she's doing, and nobody's doing it quite like that.
Yeah, she's unreal, man. She's great.
Yeah.
There was a couple, about when I first found Mark, I said, okay, I'm going to put together like a list of like 5 artists that I think are going to really pop in the next 2 years. And I put together a list of 5. I said Mark, Suspiria, Sveta, and then there's 2 more. And one of them is starting to pop right now. That's The Art of Carol, or AKA Pete Carroll, not the coach, but in the UK.
I've seen you show him.
Yeah, he's absolutely unreal. Absolutely amazing. If you get a chance, go check out his IG, The Art of Carol. He is one of the most amazing traditional artists in the game right now. We were lucky enough to, help him do his very first cover with Big Clutch for the Battle Beast blind bags, which was amazing. And as a matter of fact, let me show you. So this is Pete Carroll right here.
I got that. That just landed.
Yep.
That is badass.
Yeah.
Man.
So Clutch has been working really tightly with him since we found him on our show, and
yeah.
So I love Pete Carroll, and the other one is Flops Comics. I don't know if you're familiar with Flops Comics, another UK artist.
Oh, Flops. Yeah. Flops. I've got the Canto that he did.
Yes. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. So, and the crazy thing about all these artists, other than Pete, is all the other 4 of them, kind of did a lot of Kickstarter projects to start their career. So, that's the fun thing to me. And before then, there's a lot of other artists that we kind of introduced to the world, I feel, and that, people like Maria Wolf, Lobos.
Love Maria Wolf.
Yeah. So
love Maria Wolf.
I love finding those type of artists and kind of opening them up to a bigger audience. So that's the fun.
Met her at Heroes Con, man. She was a blast to be around.
She is one of the funniest most outgoing leaders. Hung out with her in San Diego. I usually, whenever she's in San Diego, she'll come and hang out at this bar we like to hang out with, where it's like karaoke bar, and she gets up and does karaoke. She does disco. she looks like she's like a heavy metal fan, but she's a disco fan, and she's about 4'0" nothing.
She's real short, man. Yeah.
She's a weightlifter. She's lifting weights, and she's talking about her gains and all this. She's absolutely hilarious. So,
that's what she was telling me. She was talking about getting stoned and going to the hotel gym and working out and stuff. The night before or something. I was laughing. She was cracking me up.
But all of these artists, I think, all the ones that I just named, they all have their own style, which is very that's something to me that's amazing with comic artists or just artists in general. Like when you can see a piece of them and immediately know who it is because of their style. You know, Mark's that way, Suspiria's that way, Sveta's that way, Pete's that way, Flops is that way, Maria, Lobos. Immediately when you see them, you know it's them. And
That's right.
not easy, you know, to create that, to have that style and to create it, you know, kind of quick in your career.
Yeah. And there are so many, and there's got to be such a temptation to just do what's derivative and what's kind of selling and what's getting people into some of these really tame, kind of boring, you know, Marvel DC covers that have been going for quite some time. And then you see these. That's why it's so striking to see somebody who's doing something new and different and really cool. I think it's great because it does stand out.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I know you have some stuff coming up. You have a stream in a little bit, but
yeah,
real quick. I just had a quick question. I just wanted to ask. Yeah. You know, with me and Chango, this is our 15th show.
Nice.
What advice can you give us or give other people like us that are starting something like this? I mean, you've been doing this for time and everything, but
I'll give you my 3 best pieces of advice that I give other content creators.
Okay.
4. Number 1, I learned this from my good friend Dennis Barger of Wonderworld Comics. This is one of his rules to life, especially in the comics industry, that he learned from his mentor, and that is share your knowledge freely. Like, don't gatekeep that knowledge.
Absolutely,
that's important, especially for this industry, whether it's the comics industry, content creators. Share your knowledge freely. People want it, great. If people don't want it, you know, out in one ear, out the other. But that's number 1, and I kind of taken that from him and his mentor. Number 2 is consistency. I think one of the things about Beyond Wednesdays that is a very big piece of our, I guess, success, if you would call it that, is we're consistent. You know, I make sure that if I'm going to do a show every Wednesday, I'm going to do a show every Wednesday. If I'm going to do a show every Tuesday, it's going to be every Tuesday. It's, you know, we might be late sometimes, but it's going to be around that time every week. It's going to be there. The only reasons I've ever missed shows for Beyond Wednesdays in the whole 3 years I've been there is either because we're in San Diego or, you know, some major life thing. You know, when it comes to, like, you know, family life and work, those always come first over content. And I tell everybody I work with, family life and personal stuff and work always comes first. But, you know, we've been very consistent about it. And this being your 15th show, I think that's the key is consistency. You'll build a community based on that consistency. You know, people will come back based on that consistency. The next thing, and this is a hard thing, this is a very hard thing. You need to try, and if you can, try to come up with things that are different. Like,
yes,
there are 3 things that almost every content creator in our tent pole of comics and content is going to do, right? Lists, market reports,
unboxings,
and pickups, and unboxings,
pickups. Hauls, yeah. Hauls.
Those 3 things, which those are great. Those are the bread and butter, right? If you don't have anything that day, those are easy to fall back on. But everybody's doing them, man. Everybody. And it's very easy just to go find a list somewhere and report on that list, right? It's easy. That's why I give Ben Steineger at House of Stein all the credit, because that guy has been creating a hot list for 10 years straight every week. He's not just reading off of somebody else's list, which I'm not saying that's wrong, but that's a lot of work, and it's, you know, it's very easy to fall into that crutch. The second thing, you know, about pickups, that's great. We all want to see each other's pickups. That's awesome. But, you know, if you can come up with other ideas and be different, that is the key to, hitting lightning in a bottle, or whatever they call it, right? You know,
right.
People come up with really good ideas out there. And then in the content world, you can't get mad if somebody, quote unquote, takes your idea, because listen, you're not the first person to come up with that idea. You're not the first person to find a book and to say, oh, this book's going to be a big deal. You know, the first person that should get credit for that book being a big deal, the freaking writer and the artist. Like, it's not some content creator going on the reason this book is hot. You know, like, get a little bit of you take that down a little bit, down a notch a little bit. So, you know, those are kind of like the main things. I really think that consistency is a key. And then the third thing, or the fourth thing, and the final thing is, you have to decide what you want your content to be, right? There's two types of categories in our content world. Like those categories where it's people that have like a structure of how things are done and kind of like a professional polished look, and then just a hangout, which both are great. They're amazing. And I think that if you can come up with an entertaining thing, and what I mean by entertaining is, and a lot of people don't like to hear this, awkward silence is not entertaining, right? Completely flipping the script on the topic you're talking about is not entertaining. And it happens a lot because we all want to talk about what we want to talk about, right? But if people are in the middle of talking about a subject and, you know, that it isn't died down yet, don't just throw your topic out. Like, those are the things that to me are important, because people are there because they're entertained. Then they like the people that are doing it, right? That comes second. So if you can be entertaining, that's going to help. The hangouts are great, though. Don't get me wrong. Like, I think that there's some people out there that do the great job of just hanging out. I think shout out to Immortal Biggie Shack, who does one of the best just like hangout type of channels, formats, right? Anybody can just jump on there. I love his channel and how he does things. He also, don't get me wrong, he also has like, you know, segments and ideas and stuff that are great, but he has one of the best just like hangout. Anybody can just jump on and hang out, and so those can be very good, but most of the time that's hard to pull off, man. You gotta like have some charisma and stuff to really pull that off, or kind of be different. And you know, Biggie's that guy for sure. So
yeah, absolutely.
That's typically what we do on the second part of our show. It's just kind of once the interview part's over with, it just makes it nice to hang out and chill. And
that's what I was going to say. We normally about this time we invite a few buddies on, if you can stick around for a little while, and sometimes they have some questions of you, and you know, things that they'd like to ask and wonder, and maybe stuff they'd like to show. But what do you think, Rich? You want to open it up to some of the buddies?
Yeah. Go ahead and well, let's see. There you go. Missed the button. There, I posted the link in the chat there. Anybody wants to jump on, and we can get up to 7 spots. So 7 more spots. We got 3 already. So anybody's welcome. So like if this is the first time you've caught us, you're welcome to jump on and hang out and talk. We love meeting people. We a couple weeks ago we met a couple people. In fact, next week we're going to have a guy on. His name is his first name it's Robbie goes by, right? Yeah, Robert A.
I don't know if you saw this,
but Bobby.
Right, but he's a PhD. He did a movie on Wortham.
Documentary.
Yeah, a documentary, and he was talking a little bit about it. Really interesting guy, and he'll be coming on next week to talk. He sent us a link to watch the movie. I'm going to try to watch it this week. And there's Adam, fresh off of his
big
3 nominations yesterday.
Yeah.
Hey, you're doing the same, man.
Man, I'm going to be the side piece now. I'm falling behind. He ain't the side piece. I'm the side piece.
What happens when the two that you're in a relationship are like fighting off? I don't know.
But I don't know if you know Adam, Bryan, but Adam does artwork for a lot of the channels, and he does it like for free and just surprises people, just sends it to them. Rich has got his there. Mine's in the other room, but
I have seen. Yeah, I saw Rich's piece a while ago. He showed it.
I was laughing like a hyena, man. I couldn't control myself. It was awesome.
And I think I saw one that maybe you sent to Immortal Biggie Shack. Maybe I think I seen that.
No, not me. No, not yet.
I have seen your stuff though. I've definitely seen that piece.
He has another victim. I know that will probably be seeing his soon, I guess, Adam, or
probably within a week or so. Probably.
Yeah. Stuff's in the mail, so we'll see. And I got a couple others working on. So yeah,
That's cool, man. That's great.
But-
I like that.
Yeah, he was nominated for Best Community Artist too, which is well deserved. It's always anybody you see receive him laughs and is absolutely thrilled because it's like, he incorporates elements of your personality and then your interests, and it becomes very, very fun. And a lot of times, like things that are like mine has a baby knife. It's in the other room. I've got a box that I'm going to send to get that I'm going to get framed along with this original Suspiria and a Tula Lote that I'm going to get all framed, and I just keep forgetting to take them. But
Nice.
Yeah, I need to get mine framed, but I don't want to be without it.
There's nothing better than having a bunch of art that you're like getting ready to frame, and you get to go in and decide on the matting and the frame. Like, that is so much fun. I have my downstairs of my house has the first room you walk in is this big great room, and it's got these real big vaulted ceilings and these high walls. And I bought the house because of that, because I was like, I'm going to turn this room into my own little museum. And it is frames from the floor up of just nothing but, artwork and cool stuff. And
nice. That'd be awesome.
There's nothing better to me than framing artwork. It is so much fun.
I got to find a place to take that. I've been wanting to get it framed forever, man, but I
Michael's, they're having their 75% off sales, bro. That's the way.
True. Yeah,
absolutely.
I'll have to keep an eye on that, because I would think here probably within the next few months they'll start having sales or something because of the holidays.
I actually have some artwork to show you. Would you want to embiggen me, and I could show some art I just got?
Yes, jeez. All right, man.
Yes.
So I'll try to do these in kind of an order here, but an artist I just found is
get on here, Johnny.
Johnny got nominated for Cleveland Pressing.
Get on here, Johnny.
So this guy's name is Sean Dickinson, and he does this kind of cool pinup stuff. He sent me this along with the prints that I ordered. But check this dude out. Like he does stuff like this, and it like distressed it around the sides and everything, like really cool, like pinup, like kind of hot rod kind of stuff.
Badass tattoo, man.
Yeah. Somebody has this. Like I saw in his Instagram page, but look at this one. This was my favorite that he had up. But this,
wow.
I love Jack, man.
Yeah.
Pumpkin, man. That pumpkin's got my idea.
Right. The pumpkin.
I'm like,
pumpkin's thrilled. The pumpkin is thrilled.
That is awesome.
Light out that apple. Yeah.
It kind of like looks like stuff like out of a Rob Zombie video,
Yeah, it has that feel. Fun. It's definitely retro, kind of cool, and I'm really into that. I got a couple Comic Link wins, and Stevie.
Hey, how are you?
Stevie,
hi guys.
I got a couple. These are a couple wins I got off Comic Link, and I've been trying to get stuff really, really cheap off Comic Link, and these I'll like underbid. But I got this. This is from an artist named Alexander Nascimento, and it's from a comic called Rage, but it's Rage page number 3. So art from the comic. I won this on Comic Link for $25.
Unreal, dude!
Nice.
Congratulations.
I mean,
that's cool.
You couldn't get a panel done for $25 like that,
right? Yeah, you ain't gonna get you're gonna get a. And then I got a headshot for $25. Yeah.
Right. I got this one, another one that I think I got for a good price. But this is Marvel Comics Presents number 111 from John Stanicki. But it's issue 111, page 2, and it's this Werewolf by Night stuff from used in the comic. I got this one for $125.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I think both were really big deals. Like really, really cool subject matter and stuff that I like, monsters and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But then I got something from Yaniv, and this This was not $125.
But it was a little more, yeah.
So Yaniv is for those of you guys who don't know, he's a comic dealer, deals with a lot of like Golden Age and big books. Like Stepo buy stuff from him. Doc, who we talked to yesterday on Biggie's stream, buys stuff from him. Alan buys stuff from him. And last week, Alan had him on last Saturday and was doing a claim sale. And he had some original artwork up, and he had a Lee Elias piece where it had the Crypt Keeper and these kids. It was wild. And I saw the stream the next day, and I asked about it, but our good friend AG bought it already. So I was kind of bummed. But he's like, hey, I got this another Lee Elias piece, and it's like less. It doesn't have the Crypt Keeper on it. So he showed it to me, and I wound up buying it.
What's his name?
Lee Elias. So he's the one who did
you bought it from.
Crime Suspense Stories number 22, the severed.
I know
the guy you bought it from.
Elias is. Who's the guy you bought it from?
Yaniv, Stray Flexen on
I know
IG.
Stray Flexen. I'm good friends with him. Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah, he has a lot of stuff.
Man.
Yeah,
he has
wild.
A piece. He has one of my all-time grails, the 1917
Jason?
Uncle Sam original propaganda poster.
Wow.
Sam. He owns one of the originals. Yeah, I love him, man. I met him in San Diego about 4 years ago or 3 years ago.
Oh,
good dude.
He's coming on. We're doing an interview. He's coming on, and he's going to show some of the pieces like out of like his collection, which I've only heard about. Is going to be really cool. I'm sorry.
Did he sell his car? He's got a car that's wrapped in like comic book stuff.
I saw that on his IG. No, I think he still has that.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But this is the piece. Oh, that's all right. No, good. But it's this. This great Lee Elias. This was an unused cover.
Did you say it was? I thought you said it was Johnny Craig.
Oh, Johnny. I'm sorry. Yeah, Johnny Craig, not Lee Elias. What am I?
Okay. I'm trying to butt actually.
No. You butt actually me on that. I don't want to say the wrong person. Yeah, I don't know why it's that. Johnny Craig. Yes. Johnny Craig is the one who did Crime Suspense Stories 22. But it's this body in the freezer, and this woman is like has opened the freezer and found it, and she's dropping the plate. And then this guy is the murderer, and he's about to shove her in, and he's got the knife where he killed the other guy.
That's awesome.
And
You should say that to Adam and let him color it in.
Yeah, right. I'll give it to my nephew.
I think you should get somebody to ink it and color it, like make a copy,
photo replicate it.
Make a copy of it, then do it. Yeah.
To have your own original cover, that'd be so cool.
Reach many people.
That'd be
Get that thing archive framed, museum quality. Sure.
Yeah. That has to be framed. But yeah, I figured I'd show you those few things that I got.
Yeah,
but that's what I had.
Good dude.
It's amazing.
And a couple other people. Oh yeah, Johnny's out, but Jason, archivist. I don't know if you know archivist Bryan, but he does restoration and conservation of comics, kind of like Jerry and those guys. He was on a few weeks ago, and really great episode, and taught us a lot.
Oh yeah.
When's the next episode, Jason, coming out of that book that you're working on? Can you hear me, Jason?
He's freezing.
He locked up.
He's frozen. He's frozen, Jason.
Live YouTube. Welcome to live YouTube.
Yeah.
There's a thunderstorm here.
I could show a couple things if you need to kill a little time.
Absolutely. Embiggen
him.
So this is like a FOMO thing, as we're all victims of. But I saw that Dope had gotten something for Bryan, LCS, that I was just like, oh man, I had to see what it was. But I got bootleg Spider-Man.
I've been wanting that one. Yeah.
So bootleg Spider-Man, it's pretty messed up, but one of the funny kind of pages in
I love that kind of stuff because that's like a Jim Mayfood or how you say his last name?
Jim Mayfood, yeah. So this
Yeah.
is what Spider-Man really kind of looks like, and MJ
It's
is
turned
just
into a Spider-
disgusted, so she makes him keep his mask on in the house all the time. But he goes
Yeah, I
out
love
all
that.
the time to just get her shakes and food, and so she's
Food,
just
still
like
fat.
she is just fat.
Oh no!
That's
Oh no!
if you've
So
read
I
that.
have, what's that?
I was going to say, if you ever read that Jason Mayfield Batman one, man, that one's, I love that one.
Oh
too.
yeah,
That
yeah, I
was
have
great.
that one. Yeah, I got that one. Yep. But I didn't know this was out. There's a bootleg Spider-Man 2.
Oh,
Whoa.
wow. Okay.
And
It continues.
Now you're talking.
yeah, and in
Love that
this
kind of
one,
shit, man.
in this one, he also meets up. It's kind of like DC meets Marvel kind of stuff, but he meets up with Harley Quinn there and Joker, and
Wow.
he basically battles it out with Batman. So that's kind of what the the final story is kind of like Spider-Man versus Batman. And this was another thing I didn't know existed, but he did a Wolverine. There's a Wolverine thing called the Martin Man. And
Where'd you get this at?
It's all through superheroes.
Superhero.
And so they do a whole bunch. I think I can show you here. They have like a whole bunch of like little
Oh shit, dude.
books that they do. I don't think a lot of them are parodies. I just wanted to get the parody stuff. But this is kind of like Wolverine has this brother that's also been mutated and everything, but he's just not famous. So he's kind of irritated that Wolverine, is doing all this stuff, and he's like, "I got claws too," all this stuff. And then Wolverine comes home, and so Wolverine comes home in this one. So these were just, they're just fun, So
Martin, man.
if you're a fan of those kind of
I
things,
love that stuff, man.
Sometimes there's really good stuff, and this is like underground comics from the 80s and early 90s and stuff like that. Just people don't care about the licensing and all that kind of stuff.
Anything goes.
Yeah, they're just doing whatever they want to do, and just so be it. And
until they get sued, and it'll continue.
Yeah,
right.
But I think there's. You definitely know who they are and all that. It says Spider-Man right there on the cover. You can't deny
it's clearly a parody too. It's like, I think they're safe.
But they're just fun, and it's just in some ways, you wish some of the big two corporations would just take some risks and do something totally stupid, because people like us would just enjoy it, and so they don't care, and so those kind of things are real fun to read. So just want to show those, but they're available. You can get them. They're not not much, but pick them up.
Cool, man.
But it was Rich was asking you, Jason, about the project you're currently working on and when the next video is on for that book.
Oh yeah, actually should be dropping tonight. So it just takes forever to upload now. So and then I'll be working on it again more this week coming up. So
Is it just another page out of it? Is that what
it is? So I had what's called a tipped-in page, which is like a half wrap, like it's a half of a wrap that they kind of glued in on Golden Age books back in the 40s. And so I was kind of surprised I had a couple of those pop up, and I didn't really know how to deal with it. So I had to go through some of the literature and talk to some of the other guys and figure out what to do with it. But I think I got it sorted now, and it's coming along.
Thanks, JSS.
JSS. Yeah, thank you, sir, for being here, for all you do.
And Bryan, I know you have another stream. Whenever you have to cut out, we understand. But
you want to jump off, just jump off, buddy.
But Stevie, Stevie, did you? Yeah, another one of our artists.
Resident artist. Yeah.
Sending things off to people recently.
Well, I'm working on a few things, but first of all, I'd like to say I'm so happy to see Rich's back home and doing his show and everything. And
Yes,
For sure.
I'm very happy for you, man.
Thank you,
Yeah.
sir. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, it's good to be here for sure, man. It was,
Yeah, I'll show a picture in a second, but the thing I was planning on showing was comparing. I got this Aquaman.
yeah.
It's a modern book, and I wanted to compare them to the modern book of Namers, just for compare and contrast kind of thing.
Yeah, pretty similar.
Yeah, they both have tridents, and I like this cover a little better because he's breaking air and water, and the artist has drawn them or created them in two environments.
yeah, I like that one better too.
And
A lot more going on. I like that shirt you got on, buddy.
this is one of my old ones. It's like stormy Batman, you know. And I did get the Namors. I got the first issue. Looks like he's on life support. I haven't read any of these.
It's a pretty interesting story.
It's a good story. And here's Namor 2. He's a child, and somebody was probably bothering him, and he did a dance on him. And those were that's how I was going to start the show. I've been doodling, and I came up with a space scene. Nobody's seen this, I don't think.
We got to move it a little closer, I think.
Yeah, what's it?
It's pretty wild.
Acme Space Ship. What does it say?
Sales
Sales lot. If it flies, we got it.
Right.
So it's just like a space used car lot or used spaceship lot. And that was a kind of a fun one. And the one I'm working on now is an expression one where the guy is
neat, man. I like that.
I like that one too.
It's like Kevin
It's very
Bacon.
like those '80s alt art comics, from the punk rock type comics. Love and
Yeah, I was
Rockets
thinking like
and stuff.
Iggy Pop or something. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I really like when you
one?
do this kind of stuff.
You know, the one guy that really wants to kill Bart Simpson.
Sideshow Bob.
Yeah, Sideshow Bob. For some reason, I just realized his hair looks like his a little bit, And those were the two that I was drawing. But I got the first issue of Scream. And what's real cool about all these books, I got them out of the dollar bin, and this is a $4.99. All of them are modern prices, but I got a deal.
Heck yeah, you can't beat that.
Nothing
And
better.
Could you repeat that?
Nothing better than dollar bin diving.
Oh yeah. And here's Mangus Robot Fighter. But I like the monster with the brain cap where you can see his brains.
It's a neat cover.
It's an old title that they resurrected.
Yeah. Old
Yeah.
Violent.
Yeah. And I got a Captain America battling the Red Hulk, #2.
Oh yeah, it's like redoing the classic cover.
Yeah,
Punching
the Shield in Volume 1. And then I have this Fantastic Four. It's a Doom cover.
It is, man. It is.
And a Galactus. And the Mole Man and the Submariner. Everybody's on this cover. That's kind of why I picked it out.
Yeah, it's a Walt Simonson cover.
Uh-huh. And what I noticed inside, there was a cool centerfold of Doom fighting everybody and holding his own. I don't
Nice
know.
spread. Yeah.
Kind of cool. And here's a fun one. This is Star Trek Defiant, and it looks like Picard or somebody that looks like Picard a little bit, is sitting down with a couple of reptilian mobsters.
Oh man, what are those guys called? Nate, you gotta. Oh man, it's from the
Sleep Stacks.
The first season. The oh man.
Oh, Star Trek. Oh,
yeah, Star Trek. Yeah.
Where he's fighting them in the canyons.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of reminded me of that sort of thing. From the planet Draco or whatever.
Gorn, yeah, thank you.
Gorn.
I know, I feel so bad. I was like, getting old, man.
Come on, Adam.
Yeah, I have those brain freezes quite often.
I saw I went many years ago. Seattle has a sci-fi Hall of Fame that's connected to their Hendrix Museum, and they have so much memorabilia, but they had a full Gorn outfit. They had a whole Star Trek outfit.
Wow.
It was amazing. Yeah.
Yep. And then they got this She-Hulk on a Venom War #2, and she's battling a zombie. And what's even? Let me grab this one right here. I got another She-Hulk, but she's morphed into the Dazzler. I'm going to send this to Nate because, when I saw it, I said, that's a Nate book,
Yeah, it's got some thickness to it.
Yeah, and she's dressed like I Dream of Jeannie, but then there's the disco ball and then rhinestones all over the place, and she's green. And here's one I like the art on it. I know nothing about it. Danger Street. And this guy's driving around with a coffin, and he's walking around carrying it. In the pictures, I haven't read it. I've just, you thumb through them and enjoy the artwork. And then I got some sequential Hulk books, modern Hulk books. So I like, you're in a dollar bin, you're looking for stuff. And then you see, 11, 12, 13, 14. And it's one of your favorite anti-heroes, the Hulk.
That's such a cool cover.
Yeah.
Love Nick Klein.
Who did that?
Nick Klein.
Nick Klein, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then the next one, he's busting out of a giant totem with nails in it. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
Kind of like a pincushion Hulk container, They're like
Iron
nails or spikes or something.
Yeah, it's like an Iron Maiden.
Yeah, yeah. And then
an Iron Teeth.
he's got Swamp Thing eyes in this one.
Right.
Yeah, there's a new one coming out, Hulk Infernal with Nick Klein. It's gonna be really cool.
And my last one that I have ready is 14, and it's just kind of a muscle cover,
Cool.
Yeah, he's just killing it with his covers. Yeah.
Yeah, you got those in the dollar bin as well, Stevie, or
all of them, and then 20 more. I hit the jag. I got this store I go to. It's in Rolla, Missouri. 70-mile round trip to get there and back. And it's in a college town, a University of Missouri engineering school, Rolla School of Mines. But the shop is set up with games, Warhammer, Magic. I mean, game boards everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think that's the big draw. And the comic books are secondary. And
that's happening a lot.
Maybe
my LCS is like that.
Yeah.
Maybe college kids are more into gaming, role playing gaming than reading comics and collecting them. You know,
You got to do what you got to do to keep the lights on. I mean, it's unfortunate.
But
Stevie,
let me compliment you. That stash is coming in really nicely, man.
it's another shaving mistake. It's looking good. And then
you curl it. You gonna curl it on the ends, let it grow a little bit, and just curl it a little bit.
Community awards next year.
Yeah, that's right.
My older brother did that in his youth.
You were talking about the comic stores doing what they can to keep the lights on and things like that. I've been talking a lot with my LCS owner, and one of the things you don't realize, and that I didn't realize, a lot of those big gaming things that are out there, stores really don't make very good margins on any of that stuff. Like a pack of Magic cards, like they'll sell for $5. They're probably paying $4 for them in a lot of cases. Or Warhammer is a whole nother thing, like that you have to sell so much per month, and you have to have so much in stock at all times. And to even, I think to even be like to carry Warhammer, you have to go in with like $5,000 worth of inventory from the very beginning or something like that. It is ridiculous.
But the singles, right? The singles for cards or for Warhammer, the single figures.
Yeah, I mean, if they break open packs and sell them that way and hit something big, yeah, they can make it. But like just a single pack of cards. But like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh even have like worse market margins. Like they really don't make much money off of those things. So it always kind of worries me when stores shift to like full gaming or to put a lot of their inventory into that, because you think if something goes a little bit wrong, they don't have much way to make that kind of money back. So it's kind of interesting. But like the whole like Magic and Pokemon and all that kind of stuff, like it's weird how they get distributed and allocated at different places. And we have like people from our shop are like trying to see when they hit Walmart and Target and buy them there so they can have some stock and bring other people. And it's just so much stress. I just wouldn't want to be a part of that.
That's my main LCS, man. He's all comics. He don't do cards, and he's like, as much as I can, he said he's going to stay away from that, that aspect of the business, if he can help it.
But, like comics, they're making like 50%. Like a $5 book, they're paying $2.50 for. Yeah. But for a pack of Magic cards, it's $5. They're making, they're only making like $1 off of them, and they're hoping
that's the reason. Yeah, and that's the reason. Yeah, he said he's trying to stay away from it as much as possible because it just takes up space and don't make any money. So
yeah.
But you get a lot of people in. I think that's the thing is what I've noticed. Like when I go, and I have a couple LCSs that are close by. I'm not happy with either of them. One is just like the guy treats it like his like a side thing. Like he's got a main store, a couple 100 miles away. He's got this store. It's like his overflow, and it's just it's like dirty and dingy, and all the comics are all screwed up. It's just bad. And then the other one is mostly games, and it caters to like kind of a younger crowd, like and they do a lot of gaming tournaments and things like this. And he sells like concessions, and I think he charges for like the tournaments that they have, and then. But it's much more of that than it is comics. So neither one am I.
I think it breaks down to the owner. If the owner's into it, then you're going to get that. I think, but you get away from that where the owner doesn't really care about it, and then they don't have much of it or have it at all. Mm-hmm. For me around my LC, like I said before, I'm really blessed having. I got quite a few LCSs to go to. I can go south or north, man. I can just jump store to store all day long. So it's awesome. So
Talking about the Dayton area, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, I can go to Cincinnati. You go down towards Cincinnati way, man. There's just a butt ton of shops down that way, and then there's a few up around this area close to Dayton. Then there's a couple like just north of Dayton, and then I mean, then if you really want to take a venture, you can go over towards Columbus, and there's a bunch more over that way too. You know, so.
Yeah, and, actually, one of the best shops I've been to recently is in Toledo. It's just it's completely disorganized and tons of back issues, and the guy doesn't know what he's doing, and there's like a leak in the corner, and you're like, this is the kind of shop I want to shop at. I don't none of this new stuff, no games in the corner, nothing like that. He's just barely trying to.
Yeah. So
Bryan, where are you, and what's the scene like around you?
I'm in Phoenix. It's I mean, we have a decent amount of comic shops. There's probably, if you guys have ever been into Phoenix, it's everything's like, within a couple hour drive of everything. So we probably have about 10 comic shops within the valley and the outer area of the valley. I got to be honest though, and I've talked about this on my show quite often. I don't spend much time going to comic shops anymore. My LCS that I went to for many, many years, Jesse James Comics, quits. He was one of the first retailers to stop ordering from Diamond and just sell back issues. He did that many years ago. And once he stopped ordering from Diamond, it was just kind of pointless for me to go every week anymore. So, and then I started doing the content, and, I buy back issues. But, I don't buy any new issues. I haven't bought new issues off the rack in many, many years. And but I still read. I read weekly because of the show. I do all my reading digitally. And then, we have a con once a year. We have a con down in Tucson as well. So, I mean, it's okay. It's not as great as other places, but
is there an era that you generally collect?
Is there what?
Is there an era that you generally collect, like golden, silver, bronze?
No. I collect. So I collect. I have niche collecting. I collect creator firsts, which I talked about. I collect skull covers. I collect cannabis covers. I collect alien covers. I like to read. What I read nowadays is mainly the Energon universe stuff from Skybound. I read a lot of the Ghost Machine universe stuff.
That's great stuff.
Yeah.
Ghost Machine.
So,
man.
Yeah. I those are the kind of things that I look forward to reading nowadays. But it's weird how life changes your collecting habits, and I'm very nostalgia driven, like most of us, I think. Right? We collect things that we loved when we were children or in our childhood. So I'm a big fan of collecting that stuff. Garbage Pail Kids and G.I. Joe, Transformers, and
my collection is very much squirrel. That's me. I'm like, I was telling my cousin today, I was like, I really have been trying to not buy as many new ones so I could go back to concentrating on, getting back issue and runs and stuff, because I'll start a run, and I'm pretty big on when you're getting back issues like that. If I'm going to read them, I like to get the first 5 to 10 issues before I even read the very first one, because if I like it, then I can continue on with it a little bit. But I'll hit and miss, man, on my collections as far as how my series runs go. It's just like I need to concentrate on some of these other ones, man, instead of buying new stuff.
Once I left my former career and jumped into this world, that's how I pay my bills now, is by selling collectibles and comics and stuff. And once that happened, my collection, my thought process changed. I never thought it would be like this. A lot of us don't think this way, but I remember, early on, Jesse James Comics, who's one of my mentors, told me, he's, you know, I asked him, I said, you know, like, what do you collect? And he goes, I collect what I can sell. And I go, what do you mean? And he goes, well, he goes, he goes, I rarely collect anything anymore that like isn't something that I'm just going to resell. Like it has to be super rare for me to keep. And everything else out there that isn't super rare, I know I'm going to see it again. So if I can flip it and make money off it, that's what I'm going to do. And that's what I became. Like my collection became my selling stuff. And then only things that I've like kept over the years, like I own a Punch 12. I got a Dynamic 17.
Nice.
Awesome.
Dynamic 13. Like those are the things that I keep, you know, and then I keep the things that mean something to me, whether they're like something that's been gifted to me or something that has a lot of nostalgic value. But, you know, other things like anything from the copper or, you know, modern, Bronze Age and up, like I know I'm going to be able to find again for the most part. So I'm okay with seeing it. Like right now I have a Hulk 181 dual signed by Trimp and Lynn Ween. That's a 7.5 signature series that I'm selling. And, you know, I'll never be able to get autographs from them like that, but I'm sure there's a ton of dual signed, you know, books out there like that I'll be able to find in the future. There's thousands of Hulk 181s out there. And I don't think that's another thing. I don't think people realize that. Yeah. When there's warehouses out there of books that you guys wouldn't believe there's warehouses of. I mean, and when I mean by warehouses, I mean thousands and thousands of books just on pallets, you know, long boxes of Amazing Spider-Man 300, you know?
That's right.
So they're not really that rare.
That occurred to me when you heard of Ann Loves Comics. I think that's the name of the Instagram channel.
Anna Love? Yeah, I know Anna Love. She's a good friend. Yeah.
Okay, well, that didn't occur to me how not rare like Silver Age was when I saw, you know, she's got like 100, you know, Spider-Man 1, Amazing Fantasy 15, you know, all that. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess these aren't that rare after all.
Yeah, that's great. I love her.
Amazing collection.
I feel very similar to what you were saying, Brian. Like I sell on eBay. I don't sell a lot, but the stuff like I don't sell my Golden Age, and I that's really where my attention is. And then, you know, artists and stuff. But I do I do turn and burn a lot of comics, and I am not if I'm not nostalgic about it, again, unless somebody gave it to me, or it's like nostalgic from my childhood, or it's Golden Age where I'm collecting that for the long term. Most of the other stuff, and some of the keys that I was able to reacquire after not having them for some time, it's all available. I mean, it's not something that I'm tied to at all, and I don't really collect like I collect runs like I'm collecting like the Witch's Tales run I'm trying to complete, and a couple other things, but it's mostly like Golden Age stuff. I don't, and then I read stuff that kind of speaks to me, but that's not something that like I would have a problem, you know, moving if you know, it's not like there is some cool stuff out there to read, and you know, I love when people turn me on to something that I like that not to totally shift gears, but that Daredevil,
Daredevil,
Whole Day in Hell.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Whole Day in Hell. Yeah, that's
it's
great.
one of the best things I've read.
Yeah. Yep. That's the type of stuff that it surprises me that there's more out there, but you quickly realize this is one thing that I've learned in doing content. When I first started doing content, I remember thinking I like knew everything about comics. You know, I was a Wizard kid growing up. I you know, scoured Wizard and memorized every Wizard magazine like a lot of us did. And you think you know it all, and you could just pop off these things in your head. And I remember Jesse's telling me, like, you know nothing. You know absolutely nothing. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I quickly learned that, you know, dealing with the industry vets and a lot of retailers and stuff, that he was 100% right. Like the comic industry is so ass backwards right now. It's unreal. There's such a large disconnect between the collectors and the buying base and the publishers and the industry. It's unreal.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
So
it's something I complain about a lot, and I know a lot of people probably get tired of me complaining about like how bad Marvel and DC is, and like truly awful. Like, I don't care about another multiverse. I don't want 8 more, variants of Spider-Man, and I don't want Mary Jane to be a superhero, and I want, like I know it's like an old man yelling at a cloud on a lot of it.
Mary Jane to be fat.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that. I hate everything they're doing, and when they finally do something cool, like Daredevil, Cold Day in Hell, or like Image, it seems to be crushing everything. It's like people need to talk about it. You need to like talk about like things that are interesting and fun and cool, and I love it when somebody turns me on to something that is actually fun and cool, and not the 51st variant of Spider-Man.
Yeah. There's something I'm going to be talking about tonight on the show a little bit that I'll give you guys something you might already know about it. But have you guys been following? Do you guys know the showrunner for X-Men '97, Bo DeMeo? You know who that is? He's the guy that wrote and helped create the new X-Men '97 stuff that was so great. The cartoon, the animated series that they just recently did.
It was good.
The showrunner over there, and he did such a great job because you could tell he's a fan. Like, he's a super fan of the X-Men. He grew up at a time when, like us, where X-Men was the thing, and he was a voracious reader back then, and you could tell he cared about what he was writing about. And they ended up firing him over something really stupid that didn't make any reason to fire him over. And he has been on his Twitter's X just dropping these info dumps about how disconnected the MCU is and Kevin Feige is, and how they don't care about the source material. They don't even read comics, even when they're getting ready to do a movie. They could care less about the origins of the storylines. And that is absolutely mind-numbingly stupid to me, because Bo DeMeo showed that if you put somebody in charge that cares about the characters and knows the history of the characters, he could just knock it out of the park. Because X-Men '97 was so damn good. I mean, it was
great.
Yeah. And
they just
Marvel stuff. I'm sorry.
They just proved. Sorry, Mike. They just proved with Superman you don't have to start with the origin of a character,
right,
to have a fine story.
Yeah, and James Gunn gets it. Yeah, he's
well, yeah, and he's definitely a comic book fan. You can tell through and through. So,
yeah, Igor just mentioned Deadpool. I liked that the most recent Deadpool. Like, everybody complained, oh, there's too much fan service. I'm like, no, there wasn't. Give me more. I want more. Veiled references to comic covers and right. mention of like the actual stuff. I loved that, and I not only was I entertained that I thought it was funny and cool, but there were so many like little hints to comic collectors in there, and like to the comic book stuff. I wish they would do more of that kind of thing. More nods and winks to the camera.
Yeah.
Didn't they have the creators of Superman's names on the street signs? In one series?
Probably true.
Yeah,
he did
a pretty good job on that Superman.
Yeah, if it's out on streaming, I don't go to the movie theater, so I haven't seen it, but it's now out on streaming, so I will see it. So now I can actually speak intelligently about it.
Watch it. It was really good, and I'm a person that is very jaded when it comes to movies. I'm a Star Wars fan in a major way. I'm one of the biggest Star Wars nerds that you'll ever meet.
Hell yeah.
Sorry. Every celebration, I went to every single Star Wars movie release from,
that's what I grew up on. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. It was such a big part of my life, and they ruined it for me.
It's terrible.
I hate it. And so I'm so jaded by movies and stuff like that. But I went to Superman, and I was so pleasantly surprised of how good it was.
Yeah,
Stevie, I think you're right. They realize that they don't need to waste any time on an origin story. We all know Superman's origin. You don't have to spend half the movie explaining it every freaking movie.
I'm really looking forward to the new for the Supergirl, because if they follow if they follow the the Woman of Tomorrow comic, that storyline, that's going to be.
And if they do Lobo well, if Lobo is good,
yeah. If Jason Momoa can pull it all, but,
I hope they do.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're going to use the whole the Darkness. What is it? The Darkness Within saga from Legion of Superheroes, the Great Darkness saga, I think it is, where they're going to use that to bring in the new gods. I think, and Lobo is one of those main pieces to that puzzle where Lobo is a big part of that storyline back in the day. And if they do that, man, that's gonna be amazing.
Yeah,
right. And then just you just write, like, to top it off, like they maybe don't even announce it, but throw Sydney Sweeney in a Power Girl outfit, and you'll sell. It'll be $1 billion franchise.
They'll make $1 million, man. They will make $1 million.
Stop giving us money. We can't handle it.
There'll be a lot of Superman costumes at Halloween this year.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
I'll tell you guys a funny thing. I'm working on a shirt right now. I'm starting to do merchandise for Beyond Wednesdays, and one of the shirts that I'm working on it's called the Boob Window shirt, and it's a shirt that just has the boob window on it.
Like
Power Girl.
one?
Yeah, but it's not cut out. It's actual. It looks like the Power Girl, so like even guys can wear it too.
That's great.
That's a pretty good idea. Yeah.
We're going to be all conflicted.
A con with a boob window. Before I wanted to get ready to take off here because I got a show. I got to get ready for an hour. But before I leave, I want to share something with you guys. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I've known about this cover for quite a while now, and this just got announced in new solicits, so I want to share it with you. This is a new Mark Spears cover that's getting ready to come out for show number 13. I just shared the image. There you go.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
Man.
It's very cool.
Absolutely amazing. New great storyline, the Dreadnought Wars, starting with this issue. A really big issue. They had a huge panel on it with Robert Kirkman at San Diego Comic-Con this year. It's going to be awesome. And
That's cool.
I don't know about you guys, but the Dreadnoughts are one of my favorite things about the
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a huge Zartan fan and Dreadnought fan. And
I loved my Zartan figure so much. That was like my favorite figure I had.
yeah,
Is that like a snake in back of Cobra Commander? Like,
that's the big hooded Cobra.
will they do a version of this where you could see the snake? Maybe that would be cool.
I imagine so. I think they'd be stupid.
You have a crotch shot. What much more do you need? You're greedy there, Chonka.
Don't act like you're not impressed.
Yeah.
There's a snake right in front of you.
Right, okay.
It's looking shapely down through there,
I love how he did the bat like chess pieces too. They look like the old school bat figure.
Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah.
So
that's so cool, man.
Not the talent, just amazing.
Hey, before you go, you want to see a real cool piece of original art by one of the panel members, Adam?
I do.
Let's see this, Adam.
Oh
yeah. Yeah, you have a great one. That's a great one.
Got it framed. That's
awesome.
Nice. That one is so freaking good, man.
I just put him over Captain America until I get a chance to get another frame. I was so excited. I did a show about it right away, and I said, "Look, he's throwing his gold trumpet at the villain, and it was silver."
Stevie was a music teacher, and he plays trumpet for us sometimes. Adam incorporated that into incorporates aspects of your personality, which is always fun. And I think all of us laugh quite a bit as soon as you open it and you see these little nods to your personality.
That's so cool.
Hidden gems, man. It's awesome.
Well, thank you,
Brian. Brian,
thanks for coming,
thanks
man.
again, man. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Everybody check out Beyond Wednesdays. You're missing out if you're not subbed to Beyond Wednesdays and watching what they're doing over there. It's the most innovative stuff, and it's like the most polished and cool, and you find out so much information. And yeah, hook your buddy up, Bryan. Go like and subscribe over there.
I just jumped into the show 2 weeks ago and found a friend there I hadn't talked to in 30 years in your chat, and I was like, oh my gosh, what are you doing here? So that was awesome.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Synchronicity, baby. It follows.
That's right.
Bringing people together every Wednesday.
Thanks again, Bryan. Thanks a million.
Hey, man, I hope everything works well, and I'm glad that you're still with us, my friend. And here's to good health to you, brother. So
thank you.
Have a good night.
Thanks,
See
guys.
you later now.
All right.
Talk to you later. That was great. The great Bryan McClay. Everybody, I'm really glad that we were able to do that interview, and more people were able to see. And I hope more people check out Beyond Wednesdays. I mean, they have a huge channel, huge stream, but a lot of times people don't talk about it, or maybe they don't see it, and I think you're missing out on so much cool information over there.
It's a really good show. Really good show.
It's
man.
really polished and cool, and it's cool to watch beforehand because he plays these kind of music and stuff, and all these cool guests are kind of always on. And yeah, just a shout out.
Yeah.
Well,
hey,
I got a few books.
John, one thing I wanted to say about the Johnny Craig drawing that you have.
Yeah.
He did a freezer cover for Crime Suspense Stories #8. So I'm wondering if your drawing was maybe like the
rejected one.
A rejected one for this cover.
Maybe.
Oh, wow. Huh.
Wow,
Yeah.
that'd be cool if that was. Yeah.
I hadn't considered that. That's great. That might be true. That might very well be true.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
That's all. Yeah, no problem.
Well, let's see here. My cousin, when he came into town to visit me, he knows I love Kelly Jones. They brought me this.
Oh wow!
Nice.
Zombie World.
That's
such a cool cover.
It's a badass cover. It's a one shot. It's called "Eat Your Heart Out." And the story, man, is this dude has a crush on this next door, his next door neighbor girl, and never does ask her out. Well, then the zombie apocalypse hits. He fortifies himself in his parents' basement, and he's out sniping zombies, one by one. And he comes across that girl. She's a zombie, so he chains her up and puts her in the basement and starts feeding her like random stray people that he kidnaps. And it's a wacky story, but
very Return of the Living Dead.
That cover is just so cool.
It's kind of fitting for your week. I gotta say, it's a zombie eating a heart. I mean, it's like, oh my gosh, Jamie's got a sick sense of humor.
Well, he knows I love Kelly Jones, man. So he sees Kelly Jones, he'll hit me, he'll send me a text. Hey, you got this? And I'm like, nope, no, I do not. I needed that. Let me have that. So picked up Bug Wars. I haven't read this one yet, but this is the new one.
Great cover.
Get my. Let's see what else I got in here in this pile. For our rematch with if Nate's still in there, I'm gonna go ahead and show this one. But I want a rematch. And this is, I was surprised when I seen it, and I was like, seen the signature, and I was like, ain't no freaking way, And then I looked at the name down below, and I was like, yeah, that's who it is. I've always collected. There's certain series I'll collect of different books because of artists, just like that Kelly Jones. But like on Batman, there's certain numbers and stuff and series that I'll collect because of Norm Brayfogle, or however you want to say his last name. I say it Brayfogle. But so I came across this Ultraverse Prime Anniversary Edition, and that's a Norm Brayfogle. I'm like, what in the world, man?
Oh, that's so 90s.
I know, look at that dude. They're all puffed up. It's Mr. Muscle Duke. Yeah.
I love that.
94. It's so awesome. It's so horrible. It's awesome. And I was hoping Nate was still here because I got my
Zartan book. That's one of Nate's favorites.
I picked up one of those too because I'm such a big Zardoz fan. So
yeah, that's for you. I love that.
Yeah, wow. So am I.
Had to get
Amazing.
that. Then I picked
The
up.
gun is good. The penis is evil.
I went back and picked up some more Monsters Unleashed.
Nice.
Oh, wow, cool.
Because, like I said, he had a butt ton of those, man. So I was like, that was number 10. Here's number 7.
Wow.
Shimano.
Nice.
I love those.
Love those. Here's number 1.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Very nice.
Really cool.
Yeah. Really good shape. He gave me a good price. I missed out on. I'm gonna have to. I think number 2 or something. I just didn't buy. I should have got. But then,
like that.
yeah, this is.
I like that space
that
action
Psycho.
behind you.
Huh?
I like that space action behind you too. The one above your head.
Oh yeah,
Space action.
that was a heritage. My first heritage win.
That's such a cool book.
Oh, it is sweet. I thought I got a good price on it too, man. Bidding
nice.
on it and stuff. So,
Oh, good.
and then this is Psycho number 2, but it's first appearance of the Heap,
Oh, nice. Wow.
Oh yes.
the horrible Heap. It looks like a big turd monster.
Those Psycho
Oh,
covers are
God.
so amazing.
Yeah. And then this is actually my birth year book, birth month and year book. It's Chilling's Tales of Horror, number 7.
Cool.
It's
Nice.
December of 1970. So I was like, hey, cool.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that.
So now I'm
And,
going to look out for the rest
agree-
of that run because I think there was
agree
only like
with-
10 of them.
Igor in the chat, we have excellent mods. Derek, JSS, Richard Westfall, great. Yeah, both
guys,
all of
man.
them are great.
And Weird Tales of the Macabre, or how you say it, Macabre, or is
I
it
think you're
Macabre?
right.
How you-
Macabre,
Yeah.
yeah.
Macabre? It's fine.
It's awesome. Is that a Cyclops?
My English no good, but
I think it's French, so you're good.
Okay. Yeah, it's like a zombie or something, man. It's crazy.
That's cool.
The art in it's pretty cool.
Strategic blue paint.
Yeah. And then Ricky from All Sorts of Words, he FOMO'd me, man. I was watching that live stream he did. So then I finally found the Superman Up in the Sky, the whole six-part series.
Uh-huh.
I picked that up, so it's supposed
That's
to be a
cool.
really good story. Then I didn't even know this was out. I love all these dorky friggin', Batman team up books that comes out. But this one here, man, I never did see it. And then my LCS I was in today, has little packs of complete sets of stuff. I was actually looking for the Superman, but I came across Batman and Tarzan.
What on
Oh,
earth
wow.
is that?
That's awesome.
It's a little 4-part series. It's called Batman. It says Claws of the Catwoman, Batman Tarzan. So I haven't had a chance to read it, and I just got it today. But
They
that's
go back in time or something? Because wasn't Tarzan from like the
yeah. I looked at number 1 when I was rebagging it, and it looks like it takes place like in the 30s or 40s.
Oh, cool.
It's like a period piece. So that was 2. There's 3.
Oh, cool.
Covers on them pretty good.
Yeah, very well
it's,
painted.
Kind of look
Igor,
pulpy like that. Yeah.
Igor Cordy is the artist. I think that's how you say his name. Igor or Igor.
Igor. Yeah.
Igor.
Igor, yeah, there you go.
I always want to say Igor because that's a good movie. That
Uh-huh.
Mel Brooks, man, he ruined my childhood. But then trying to get this run, but I picked that up today.
There we go.
Oh,
I love me some Boris.
Slaughter
That is a run.
Six-
That is a run that I'm completing.
Yeah, they're number
But that's
11.
nostalgia. That's my childhood.
Yeah, and then number
Teenage.
12.
Yeah.
But I love that on the number 1 where it says, it's Boris the Bear slaughters the teenage radioactive black belt mutant ninja critters.
That's right. And if you know, right toward the end of the series, 2 of the issues, there were writing credits from the great Steppo Stephen worked on a couple Boris the Bear
Right.
issues toward the end.
That's
And
awesome.
the last
Yeah.
one, I got a that's big ass stack of books, but last one I'll show here real quick. Went to Heroes Con. Nobody at Heroes Con had that son of a bitch, and I found it today at one of my LCSs. Man, I was like, God dang it, because I was trying to find. I had the rest of it, the rest of the series, because I was wanting DWJ to sign all of them. So I was like, well, I'm not going to have him sign 2 through 6 or whatever it is. So
It's a good series.
Yeah, I was like, dang.
Hey, next year at Heroes, hopefully he'll be back. He usually will be.
Yep. That's my plan. That'd be my plan. But that's all I had. Well, that ain't all I had. I got more, but so,
I'm gonna need to get medicated again. My cold's getting me here.
That's fine, buddy. I'm ready to get off here myself, man. I'm been kind of tired.
It was a fun one again. We've been having some really fun.
Yeah, I mean, getting some good guests and fun, and I'm looking forward to next week with Bobby. I need to reach out to him and make sure we're still good to go for that.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
And then the week after that, we have Dave from West Coast Avengers.
Right.
He'll be on the 30th. And then I still got to get a hold of Mike from Lunch Money and lock down a day for him.
Yeah,
and,
I think there are a few others that we're going to have. Yaniv is going to be coming by.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And there are a couple kind of in the works.
Is he selling stuff, or is it just an interview?
I think he's gonna show mostly his personal collection, but I did tell him, like, if there's anything he wants to show where he's like, hey, if you want this, like, obviously if he wants to promote something, but he is gonna show like cool stuff out of his personal collection.
Oh, cool. Awesome. I'm sure it's a nice collection.
Oh yeah, I'm sure of that. Like the stuff he's selling. And there are some other like ideas. We've got the feelers out for some industry type people, and I think there are some other people who've agreed to come on, like the guy who did my intro and the Dirty Rotten Comic Flipper video, the artist.
Yeah.
He's agreed to come on, and there are a couple other people that we've talked to. I'd have to go back and look, but yeah, you had Mike from Lunch Money. We're trying to work out a date that'll be fun, and I think it would be cool, like around the time of the awards here, to maybe help promote some people. We haven't talked about this yet, but promote some friends and try to make sure people get seen, and we're promoting friends' channels and stuff. So that might be cool to have some people on that are nominated.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But thanks to everybody in the chats for coming and hanging out, man. I appreciate every one of you guys. Thanks Derek and JSS, and Richard was here for a little bit and stuff. I appreciate you guys, Renton, and seeing a lot of new faces in the chats, or new names, and not faces, but just new names. But this has been a fun one. I think me, Chaco's sick, and I'm not 100%, so we'll make up for it on yeah. Shows for sure. I was glad to be here. I'm glad I was up to be able to do this still, life is a crazy thing, man. It's short, and like I've said before, man, make sure you guys give out love and hugs, man. Don't be ashamed to do that. Because it can all be gone tomorrow. And
well, we're all relieved. We're all relieved that everything worked out, and glad to see you back on the screen.
I'm so happy you're here, man.
Yeah, it's a joy to be here. That's why I was telling you earlier in the week. I'm like, it's a few days away, but I want to do it because I know it'll do me good, and keep doing this. And if I was able to, if I was still in the hospital, I think I'd have had them go get my laptop and been like, let's do this.
Bjorn did a show from the hospital.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That's what I was like. It's going to be like Bjorn, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Thanks, Igor. Thanks, Sales Boy. A bunch of other people who came by. Another thing, Son of Crom's doing a stream a little later. So stop by, see Bjorn if you're up for it. I'm not sure I'm going to be up for it tonight, guys. I'll see. I'm kind of under the weather, but everybody check out Son of Crom's channel. It's in an hour or two. I don't remember the time.
It's at 11.
Oh, is it 11 Eastern?
11, I think 11 Eastern.
Yeah.
Don't miss the Sunday Hangover show tomorrow.
Don't miss Nate's. Yep.
Special guest. Me. No.
Yeah. Cozy Archivist. That's always we had a great interview here.
Yeah.
And I got just one thing to promote myself. I'll be next Saturday. I'll
doing
be
autographs at the local LCS.
What's that?
I said doing autographs at the local LCS.
No, I'll be on the Codex stations.
Cool.
Show. They're like 11 p.m. show next Saturday.
Next Saturday? Okay.
Yeah. So
they're nominated for a ton. Those guys.
Yeah.
Check them out. Check it out, definitely.
And like Uncle Gary, that's big on that show. Like he runs a shop that's like an hour and a half from me that I have been to many times. Right. So kind of curious to talk to him there. And next Saturday, next Saturday, I'm really excited. I'm going to try to get some good footage, but there's this is like a Comic-Con that Stevie D would love. It's just a long box digging, small little Comic-Con. It's so old school. It's so funny because they don't advertise at all. It's like one really old guy that kind of runs this thing. He actually calls, like he called me to tell me when the show was. He called me twice. He left a message. Yeah, he left a message, and then he was like, "Oh yeah." Then he actually called me again just to tell me about that. That's how they get the word out, is just calling people on the phone. So
I gotta go. I got a thunderstorm. Choco's going crazy, but
we'll see you.
Take care.
Have a good night.
Good to see you guys.
All right. And let's see. All right. With that, we'll go ahead and end this stream. And don't forget, Jason, September 7th, Jim and Dan's at Wright State University.
It's a
little comic show. Just it's a good comic show, man. I filmed it. It was probably one of my first videos I did last year, last year, but the beginning of this year. I did a coverage of it and stuff. So 4 times a year they do that show. If you guys are in the Dayton area, make sure you check it out. Like I said,
I'll try to make it.
It's on a Sunday, so
never disappoints.
Never disappoints.
Awesome. Well, again, maybe I'll see you there. Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll get together, man. We'll set up some time too, man, and do a little comic crawl, something.
Yeah,
come up your way, you come down my way, or something, and we'll definitely hit some shops because I love doing that stuff.
All right, cool.
But,
cool.
Just thanks again to Bryan, and thanks you guys for coming and hanging out. Thanks Adam, Jason, Stevie D.
Fun.
Keep growing that mustache, buddy. Looking great.
Looks good.
All right. We will see you guys next Saturday at our normal time. It should be at 8:00. So if not, we'll definitely be advertised otherwise. So thanks again, everybody. We're going to end it here, and we'll hit this button.
All right. Bye now.